So what was the Bible of the early church? What did the Bible of the early church look like? The truth is, a lot of people were reading the Bible, their Old Testament, in Greek, often called the Septuagint. And a lot of the New Testament quotations are from the Septuagint. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to have a Bible that contained both the Old Testament and Greek and the New Testament in Greek? There is something out there like that. It's called the Biblia Graeca, and we're going to review it right now. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Stephen Hackett. I'm going to be dedicating this channel to the things I'm learning as I'm reading through the Greek New Testament. I'm also going to be doing reviews on Greek New Testaments, various Bibles, and lots of things related to biblical studies. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and like and subscribe. So I want to talk about this in terms of 5 different categories. And I think the last one is the most important, so you'll want to hang on to the end to see what I think is the most important quality when you go to judge this Greek New Testament. So the first one I want to talk about is the text itself. This is based on 2 popular editions, 2 scholarly editions. One is the Ralph's Septuagint, and the other one is the 28th edition of the Nestle. The second thing I want to talk about is the font size. The font size is a little bit small, so I have right next to this Biblia Graeca a standard Nestle 27th edition, and in the Septuagint section the Greek text is pretty small. Now the 2 font sizes for the Septuagint and the Greek New Testament, these are different kinds of fonts and they're slightly different sized. So basically what they've done is they've taken Ralph's Septuagint and they've taken the Nestle text and they've basically smashed these 2 together and put them into one binding. So the font size leaves a little bit to be desired, especially in the Septuagint. It's fairly comparable in the New Testament to a standard Nestle. And so that would be the second category I'd like to talk about. Okay, the third thing I want to mention here was the paper itself. And I think you could probably even see, even with this YouTube video, that there is quite a bit of ghosting going on here. So the paper quality is pretty thin. Next thing I want to talk about is the binding. And this is a little hard for me because I haven't been able to determine, but I think this is a sewn binding. And it definitely lays flat when you open it up. So it's not just like a cheap, perfect binding where you've got the, just the spine of it glued. Perfect binding is kind of a misnomer. Perfect binding is probably the cheapest, lowest grade binding that you can have. This does not have a cheap binding. It's very nice. So I actually misspoke at the beginning of this video. I wouldn't say that the most important thing that you want to judge this New Testament by is what I'm about to mention, but it might be a big determining factor if you want to buy it. Now for me, I kind of wanted something I could take to church, and as a sermon's going on, I could go to the Old Testament or the New Testament and follow along. What I want to talk about right now is its portability. It is pretty small, but the problem is it's really thick. It's almost too thick to be useful in a setting like that. It's a good desk reference, but I'm measuring it right now, and I'm seeing we've got about 3 inches thick. And that might not sound like a lot, but when you're holding this in your hand, it's quite a bit. So you want to take that into consideration when you're thinking about buying this Greek New Testament Septuagint. Overall, I'm going to say it's a great thing to have, a great desk reference. Maybe not something that you just want to carry around with you every day, though. So, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.